What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Game Time Live. We are coming to you on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Happy Christmas Eve to everybody. We are getting right into the nitty gritty of the holiday season. I know Daryl's been busy Christmas shopping for his it's granddaughters, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm not
Yes,
trying to call
sir.
you old, just making sure I got the right pronunciation there. So I know you've been busy shopping. It's good to have you back. You've been traveling this week, and then you come back, and now it's almost Christmas time, so it's good to have you back. I want to give a big thanks to Ramon for co-hosting with me on Sunday. As we've mentioned multiple times on this show, he's a high school football coach, but hopefully we can have him back in the fold of things now that football season is kind of wrapped up for him. So it's going to be a good episode today. We are recapping the NFL, so I am looking forward to that. As always, we want to give a big thank you to Matt Gaddis from State Farm, our local State Farm agent, and Wired to the Nines. If you need any low voltage help, you know who to call. I'm not Ghostbusters. Wired to the Nines. Make sure to email them at wiredtothenines@yahoo.com for more information. D-Cot, great to have you back, man. Hope Memphis was well. I know the connection was a little iffy, but it's good to have you back. We've got a full slate of NFL to talk about today. I made the title of the video about the Denver Broncos, so I definitely want to talk about them today as well after their loss to Jacksonville. But how are you doing? What did you think of the college football playoff? I obviously want to give you some room to talk about that as well before we get into this NFL talk.
First of all, man, I'm glad to be back. It's been a rough last 5 or 6 days. I was down in Mississippi, did go through Memphis, of course, but I'm glad to be back, man. Family's important. It's important to stick together as one for sure. College football playoff, right? There's been still a lot of talk about all what's going on with regard to who should have been in, who shouldn't. It's too late for all that stuff. We got to talk about the teams that are in. We're no longer talking about the teams that did not make it. We can talk about those games this past week. Hitting on that first game with Miami. Excuse me, not the first game. The first game with Alabama and Oklahoma. They get out to a 17-0 lead. I'm thinking to myself, man, you got to have some fire. Have some fire, right? You need something good to happen. That 4th and 2 play touchdown was something good that had to happen. That spearheaded them into a 27-0 run and pretty much put the game on cruise control. Yeah, Oklahoma missed a couple of field goals by the best kicker in the country, but those things happen. Vegas didn't have anything to do with him missing the kicks, so don't want to hear that either, right? Just like they didn't have anything to do with Ty Simpson throwing a pick six 4 weeks ago to the same team. So we can squash all that stuff like that, right? Turnovers happen, players play, and we watch. So it was a great win by the Tide. They showed resiliency as they've done when their backs were against the wall. They've got a task on their hands now against this great Indiana team. This Indiana team is no fluke. They're legitimate, and they've got about 7 to 8 pros on that team. So it's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be nervous. But the positive out of it is this. Obviously, if Bama wins, I can still rejoice. But if Indiana wins, I can rejoice because all what the state of Indiana has gone through over the last 9 months between the Pacers and their situation with injuries, the Colts and their meltdown, state of Indiana needs a win. And it'd be great to have the Hoosiers have that win for them. Going over to Miami and A&M, slugfest. Defensive fight, missed field goals there as well. Yeah. I think for me, it was a good game. I know people say, well, it wasn't a good game because it wasn't a lot of scoring. You got a lot of pros out there too. Those guys were balling out, and A&M had a chance to win at the end of the game still, with all that was said. Reed throws a fluttering interception. I don't know what he was thinking. He throws a fluttering interception. The game's over. Then you've got the last 2 games, which aren't a lot to speak about. The Oregon win, obviously. Excuse me. The Oregon win the other night against JMU. That was tough, right? That was really tough. Seeing them and Tulane get beat like that. Tulane getting beat against Ole Miss. You can say what you want to say, right? They were in there. They didn't quit. They fought hard. Both teams fought hard. and they lost. There's been blowouts every year in the playoffs, not just this year. Every year in the playoffs, there's been some team that's gotten blown out. So it happened. On to the next round. I look forward to Texas Tech playing Oregon. I look forward. It's
gonna be a shootout, man. That's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, Indiana playing Bama. I look forward to Miami and Ohio State with the revenge game from 2002 for Miami. There's a lot of plots there to be had, and it's going to be fun to watch for sure.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it, but man, I can't lie. You know, obviously, when the NBA starts, I get very indulged in the NBA. That's what I choose to watch. You know, there could be an NFL game on, and there could be a midweek NBA game on between the Wizards and the Spurs, and I may even watch that because I really do prefer basketball at the end of the day. But
you clearly prefer basketball.
But this week, I can't lie. The NFL, I watched it. I watched Thursday night football. I watched the Saturday game between the Bears and the Eagles or the Bears and the Packers. Didn't watch Eagles Commanders. I watched Sunday. Was watching Sunday night, and then I just kind of lost interest in it. But I was very encapsulated with the NFL this week, so I'm very excited to get on here and talk NFL with you today, Daryl. It's been an interesting week, and we're gonna play a little game to kick off this stream, Daryl. I love playing a couple games, so we're gonna play. I may have to get a graphic for this now. We're gonna play buy or sell, right? We're gonna play a little bit of buy or sell with these current NFL playoff teams. I'm gonna pull up the updated NFL playoff picture via NFL.com real quick, and then we're gonna get this thing going. I'll throw you a couple teams at you, and you're gonna tell me if you're buying or selling. So first off, we start with the cover of the video. Are you buying or selling the Denver Broncos?
Look, man, I'm selling. I said it about 4 weeks ago. I said it 6 weeks ago.
Yep.
They are the worst, whatever their record team is, I've ever seen. They're 12-3. They lost this past week to the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors, but you got to win it. So you got to give them credit because they got the wins, right? But this feels like a first-round exit if I've ever seen one for the Broncos. So I'm selling.
Yeah, I'm selling. I'm selling too. And then obviously the loss they just had to Jacksonville on Sunday. I'm not buying this Denver team. I will say Bo Nix is a really good quarterback. The ability for him to create, I think that's huge for this team. But I'm not buying Denver. Not this season, right? I actually like the Patriots over them. I like the Chargers over them, obviously. I like Jacksonville as well. I'm not really buying Denver quite yet. Just not really seeing it from them quite yet on this season. A team we talked about on Sunday, I made them the title of the video, Daryl. Buying or selling the Chicago Bears?
Listen, man, my dad rests in heaven. I'm buying the Bears, man.
There you go.
My dad was a big Bears fan.
There you go.
I don't like the Bears. I've never liked the Bears. And here's why I'm buying it, right? Because they've got a mindset of they're not quitting. They played everybody in front of them, tough teams be damned. Behind just that game the other night, I watched that whole game. They're behind. There was no way they were to win that game on a onside kick that hit my man in the chest and fell. They got the ball. Then you got your second-year quarterback who's got a rocket for an arm. I still think he throws way too many fastballs. He's got to take a little steam off those balls. But I'm buying Caleb Williams. Yeah. I'm buying his talent. I'm buying his mindset. I'm buying the fact that he's bought in to being a Chicago Bear. I like their running game. I don't like their receivers so much. But I like the fact that quarterback gets out the pocket and makes things happen when that offensive line breaks down.
There you go.
Think about what happened last night with the Colts and that 73-year-old quarterback that couldn't get out the pocket. Yeah. Hey, he can get out the pocket, and do a really good job, Mr. Williams, out of the pocket. So I'm absolutely buying those Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midway, bear down.
There you go. You got to clip that, huh? That was a good one. But yeah, I would agree with you. I'm buying on the Bears. And somebody made a really good point. It was a clip that I saw, and they said everyone's talking about, well, the Bears beat the Packers without Jordan Love and everything else. But the thing with this is, right, that is a win. It's against Green Bay, right? We know it's Green Bay and Chicago. It's the Packers versus the Bears. This is a win that can transcend Chicago, because this is the win that means the most to everybody. How long has this rivalry been one-sided? I mean, it's the most.
You remember Aaron Rodgers? He said, yeah, I own the Bears, right?
This is it doesn't matter that it does not matter. This is a rivalry that is at an even playing field now. The Bears are here and they're here to stay. If Ben Johnson wins a Lombardi trophy, I mean, he could walk down the roughest street of Chicago and he would not be touched. I mean, he will be up there. He will be up there with Jordan. He will be up there with Derrick Rose. He will be up there with multiple people, Chicago. He'll be up there with the 2016 Cubs. If the Bears bring home a Super Bowl, Ben Johnson will be up there with some of the all-time Chicago greats. And I know somebody probably looked at me like Derrick Rose, but from interviews I've seen, since Derrick Rose is a Chicago kid, he's got that same upper echelon. Yeah,
that's absolutely his city. But I'm gonna tell you, that city is still a Bears town. Yeah, you got the
no. Yeah. That's my point. Like, if Ben Johnson gets this Lombardi,
Bears win that Super Bowl. Woo-wee. Man.
Y'all thought Philadelphia was bad when they celebrated. Chicago's gonna get even worse. I'd be happy for Chicago. It's been a long time coming, so I'm rooting for Chicago the same way I'm rooting for the Chargers. Next up, Daryl. They got a huge win on Thursday Night Football in the craziest turn of events. Are you buying or selling the Seattle Seahawks? I know this is a hard one. Are you buying in?
I'm selling. Okay. I'm selling because of the quarterback. I think that he's played. He parlayed that Minnesota year into a 3-year, $100 million deal. I think he's played well this season. I just don't know that Seattle have the horses to go on the road or be in a tough fight and have to play straight up, and that defense have to come to play. I'm just not ready to buy them just yet. I like them a lot. I like them a whole lot. I'm just not ready to buy them just yet. So right now I'm still selling.
I'm buying. I'm buying in. And the reason I'm buying in is because, well, one, I kind of have an agenda here, right? I said, I think in my preseason rankings, I said they're sneaky enough to win the West. I said that. I'm trying to find the clip. Hopefully I can find it here in a second.
Make sure you find out them other clips you had that you were wrong about.
I don't know about that. They're sneaky enough to win the West. And I think the reason you talk about the quarterback, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but man, Jackson Smith and Jigba has elevated his play. If somebody told me right now that's the best receiver in the National Football League, I can't even disagree with you. He is playing at a level that that Seattle has to be thrilled about. He is playing at a absolute, I wanted to say all-star, but I'll say Pro Bowl level. Everyone was worried when they got rid of
all pro.
There you go. Everyone was worried when they got rid of DK Metcalf. Well, DK Metcalf is now suspended for 2 games. So we'll throw that to the side.
Fantasy managers are really upset.
Yeah, for sure. Luckily I didn't draft him, but JSN is balling. I mean, he's balling. And I know if Ramon was here, he came from that one school, right? OHIO. But I got to give props to the Seahawks. And I think, and we talked about it, why was he so successful in Minnesota? I think it's because of what was around him, and right, having what a lot of people would argue is the best receiver in football. Well, it seems like once again, he has landed with one of the best receivers in football. And I think maybe that is why Darnold is playing so well. They have a decent running game. They have a reinvigorated defense after the years of the Legion of Boom. So I like this Seattle team. I am going to stay bought in. Now, if they lose in the divisional, it would not surprise me, but this is going to be a tough run down the stretch as we get closer and closer to playoff time. Daryl, is there anything you want to combat there about that? What are your thoughts on JSN as well?
No, I think he's a hell of a receiver. I don't think he's the best. I think there's a guy in
No,
Cincinnati
I
that may
agree.
have something to say. I
Yep.
think there's a guy in Minnesota that may
Yep.
have something to say, and it's definitely a guy in
I,
Los Angeles that has something to say.
I'm talking about this season, but yes, I get what you're saying.
Puka Nacua would be very offended by your statement. That dude he's on another plane this year, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, JSN is a hell of a player, man. He's definitely stepped his game up. They've got a running game. Charbonneau now has forged a little bit more playing time than our guy from Michigan State, which is a good thing for Charbonneau. They've got fresh running backs right now. They've got the two-headed monster that's fresh, and I think that's going to go bode well for Seattle. I think because both guys can get it done. Walker can get it done, and Charbonnet can get it done. That's going to help them. So there's a lot to like about Seahawks. I want to see them. I want to see them thump the Rams this week.
There you go.
If I see them thump the Rams this week, I'll say I'll buy. But I'm with you on a lot of your statements with regard to the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the Seahawks this week off that crazy 2-point conversion, right?
Yeah. Don't they have them again? Or do
they probably do. I guess they.
No,
do,
I'm thinking Carolina and Tampa Bay. They play again in the season. I'm getting them mixed up.
But yeah, I like Seattle. We'll see how they do. Let's scroll down a little bit, Daryl. Buying or selling the Buffalo Bills? I'm gonna ask you this one. I think a lot of people are getting a little shaky on the Bills. I'm still buying them.
You got young teams that are hungry. That've got veteran players sprinkled in to make a difference, right? You've got guys that have things to prove. You've got the Chargers quarterback has something to prove. Jaguars quarterback has something to prove. Texans quarterback has something to prove, right? So, and then you got New England's quarterback, Mr. May. I mean, I think that the ship may have sailed on the Buffalo Bills from a Super Bowl perspective. They had those opportunities last 3 years. And for whatever reason, it didn't happen for them. They're not going to be at home. They're not going to be in the Buffalo Bill crowd. And while I think defense travels, they don't have a defense to travel.
Yeah.
They got an offensive travel. They don't have a defensive travel. So right now, I'm not buying the Buffalo Bills.
I'm still buying them, man. And like I said to Ramon on Sunday, like this is like last year when we previewed the NBA playoffs, and I said it's the Thunder's title to lose, and it's the same exact point here with Buffalo. Your arch nemesis, your Lex Luthor, your Joker, your Kryptonite is not going to be in the playoffs this year. Lamar Jackson is not going to be in the playoffs this year. Well, we don't know yet, but let's assume he's not.
He won't be 100% if he's in, though. I mean, he's had a year to forget about.
I like. There's no real excuse for this team this year. I get it. You've got the Broncos. There's teams on the come up that are playing really well, including my Chargers, but it's still Buffalo's conference to lose. It's your Super Bowl to lose. The Eagles aren't superhuman. I personally, like I said, I've given Seattle a lot of credit, but I don't necessarily agree with what my partner Daryl has said. Who's second place in the NFC? The Bears. Bears lack of playoff experience as well. A lot of these teams coming in, lack of playoff experience. This, like I said, this is the Bills' championship to lose. I said on Sunday, I think the Bills are still my favorites to come out of the AFC, and then I had the Eagles or Rams going to the Super Bowl because, man, I really do like how the Rams are playing as well. Daryl, I got to ask you, are you buying or selling the Los Angeles Justin Herberts? Are you buying into them? I have been on the Herbert train all year, and we are running strong. I am so happy they beat the Dallas Cowboys. So this was a win-win for me on Sunday, Daryl. Cowboys didn't look horrible, and they lost. Chargers get the win to stay strong in the playoffs. They're hunting after the Denver Broncos. This is a win-win for me. As you already know, I'm buying in on the Chargers. Are you buying in on the Chargers?
I'm absolutely not buying in on the Chargers. They've done it with smoke and mirrors. They've had great things fall their way. They got a quarterback who had his left hand broke, not his right hand. Things falling, in the perfect scenario for them. I think when the playoff comes, they're going to be one and done, unless they play the Broncos. and that won't happen because the Broncos will be probably, I'm guessing, will be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
No, Chargers are gonna steal the division. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Chargers are gonna steal the division.
Listen, there's a lot of good football to be played in the AFC. I'll give you that.
I'm buying the Chargers. I really do like them. My only concern, right, and this is going to come with San Francisco and all the Los Angeles teams, when you got to go to Seattle, when you got to go to Chicago, when you got to go to Philadelphia, when you got to go to Boston, when you got to go to these places that are going to be snowing, negative wind chills, wind. How are you going to fight? And if Herbert comes out and doesn't play well, I will come on here and take my stonings and everything else.
I won't stone you, man. I've gotten used to Herbert failing in the big moment.
Well,
so we won't hit on it.
He's had one playoff game against Jacksonville, and that was a pretty hard moment. Don't get me wrong.
That was his big moment.
To be fair, and honestly, it can't get any worse. I'd rather lose 27-0 than choke 27-0. That's just me personally. So if they come out and lay a goose egg in the playoffs and it's negative wind chills, that's no excuse, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see how the Chargers play. I have a lot of belief in Justin Herbert because out of all the quarterbacks in the AFC, you could say Herbert is the second best quarterback. If you told me Drake May is ahead of him, fine. I personally think out of all the quarterbacks in the playoff picture in the AFC, that's the second best quarterback talent level-wise. So I do believe there's an expectation that he needs to at least get to the divisional round. You got to win that wild card game for sure. But I'm pretty confident in the Chargers as well. Daryl, a lot going on in Philadelphia, man. Are you buying or selling the Philadelphia Eagles?
I think Philly got a get-right game last week. They had a big fight against the Redskins because they went for a 2 to make the score 29-17. I think they've gone through a lot of adversity, thinking. They've gone through a lot of adversity all year.
Herbert!
and what I'll say to that is this, right? They're still standing. Mm-hmm. They beat Washington. They've got 2 games left, and I absolutely believe I'm buying the Eagles, by the way. I'm buying them. You don't have to throw for 350 yards a game to say, oh, well, we've got a quarterback that can throw a 350. Kansas City does too, but he's out. There's a lot of teams that can throw the ball around the field. I promise you. But it's about winning. And right now, the winning quarterback out of these teams I'm looking at from the NFC, granted, Stafford has a Super Bowl as well. But from a winning and a guy that keeps his composure, I'm still sticking with my man Jalen, man.
Yeah,
I'm still sticking with Jalen.
Sell Eagles, Super Bowl hangover. Interesting take from Eli there. And I don't think it's not a bad opinion.
Well, we talked about that though, right? So I said, their defense isn't as good as last year because they lost a lot of players. And you're the hunted. When you're the hunted, things look a little different. I promise you, at the beginning of the season, if we'd have said the Eagles are 10-5 at this stage, we said, man, that's pretty doggone good.
Yeah,
because they got a chance to be 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 12 wins in 17 games ain't too bad, man. The level of play in the NFL is a hell of a lot closer than it used to be.
Yeah.
So all right, give them that credit.
Let's buying or selling the Carolina Panthers. They now lead the division. They're going to have a home game. Are you buying or selling Carolina?
No.
I'm not quite sure how to help.
Alexa, my Alexa thought I called her name. Go ahead. My apologies.
hey, you may want to mute that. I don't want to know somebody.
Yeah. I don't know why she said that. Look at the Chargers fans coming in to support me right now.
Talk about a Freudian slip.
Look, you see the Chargers fans, they're coming to back.
I can't see the comments. So I'll get to talk about the Panthers again.
Thank you, Tony Reyes.
I can't see the comments, so I'll only talk about the Panthers. So
go ahead.
I'm kidding. I see them. Sell Panthers, weak division. I wouldn't say necessarily weak division. I just don't think the Panthers are a complete team. They're a great story. I love the fact that Bryce Young has gotten better as the season gone. He's my guy, as a Bama guy. Love that. However, they won on some hokey pokey this past week against Tampa Bay. I don't know that works in Tampa Bay in week 18.
Okay.
I just don't. I think they're a year. I think they're a year away, maybe 2, because they've got to get that receiving core up to par. Leggett is not a number one guy. He doesn't have field awareness.
Petero and McMillan's playing pretty well.
Yeah, McMillan's nice, but you got to have somebody on the other. You can't. This isn't college. You got to have multiple. You got to have 3 or 4 guys, and they've got 1 guy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm selling the Panthers, not in a bad way. You know, it's you know, if I was, you know, I would do a merger or something. You know, if I'm in the stock market, or you know, I don't mind the Panthers. They're not doing too bad. Daryl, buying or selling the Green Bay Packers? I am on the fence about this one.
The injuries, the things they've had going and you know against them in the last few weeks. I think they went, you know, big time at the beginning of the season. I think they faded at the end. Everybody's got injuries. I get it. You can't make injuries as a huge fact. But the fact is, the reason why I'm not buying them is because of their injuries.
Yeah,
and I just think they're going to fade away into the sunset. They're you know, they're 9-5-1 right now. I can see them maybe splitting their last 2 games to be, you know, 10-6-1. And I don't know if that's going to be good enough to make it in the playoffs or not.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm going to sell too. We'll see what happens with Jordan Love. Hopefully he gets back. Unfortunate for Micah Parsons, obviously with the ACL tear. It is unfortunate. Tony Reyes, 65-year Bolt fan here, man.
Hey.
Props to you.
That's loyalty right there. Hey, John Jefferson's rolling over in his grave right now, man.
Props to Tony Reyes.
No, John Jefferson's still with us, by the way. I think he's still with us. Hell of a
I am a Cowboys fan, obviously, but I am a Justin Herbert supporter since day one. So that I am a semi-Chargers fan in that regard. So I'm rooting for the Chargers this year since Joe Burrow's not in the playoffs and the Cowboys aren't in the playoffs. Daryl, I gave my prediction this week as well. We've got some good comments here today. What happened to the Chiefs? I wonder what happened to the Chiefs.
They got beat.
How about their luck, right? ACL tear to Mahomes and then ACL tear to Gardner Minshew.
It wasn't an ACL. He got saved. It wasn't an ACL, but he may be done for the year anyway, though.
Yeah, but then Minshew tears his ACL.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Minshew. He didn't tear his ACL.
Oh, he didn't. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
But I think he may be out for the rest of the season anyway.
Still crazy though. Still insane. They're gonna have to pick someone up. Call Cam.
Remember we talked about letting a player go a year or two too soon, then a year or two too late.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happened to Kansas City.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I thought it was ACL for Minshew. I thought
I saw that Minshew didn't have an ACL. I don't know. I thought I saw a report that said he narrowly escaped an ACL or something like that. Regardless of the fact, they're not in the playoffs. Why the hell are we talking about right now anyway?
I'm looking. I'm just sorry. I'm reading some of the comments here. I want to go back to Denver because obviously that's what I titled the video, Daryl. Obviously, me and you both said we're selling on Denver. I'm not too high on Denver, honestly. And Jacksonville beat them. Jacksonville's season has been so weird, right?
Let's be real here. Jacksonville thumped them.
Jacksonville,
like it is.
They had such a high after that Chiefs win, and then they went a little down, and then they've picked it back up. They've capitalized off the downswing of the Colts, which obviously we'll get on the Colts here in a second. But I don't know how to feel yet about Jacksonville either. I was super high on them, and then they kind of fell down after the Chiefs game, and now they're coming back up.
When they were overseas, remember when they went overseas and got thumped by the Rams? But I said, man, I think they're coming along, right? Guess what? They've got their sea legs underneath them, and now they've won a couple in a row. They beat the Colts. They turn around, beat the Broncos in Denver. You've got to give them props. And I'm gonna tell you, Sunshine in his 5th year is finally playing like a potential superstar quarterback, man.
Yep.
And so I like that. I like that team as a whole. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender this year, but I really like the fact that they've come along and they've gotten better and better. Regardless, think about it, man, they're 11-4.
Jacksonville could win an AFC title. Lawrence getting comfortable in new offense. Yeah. I mean,
Brian
Cohen, they mocked Cohen at the press conference when he first got there doing the Duval or whatever. Man, Cohen's balling out.
Speaking of that, you see the little backhanded shot that the Broncos coach gave him? Well, they're a small market team, but they play good. Why do you got to say they're a small market team?
The Broncos?
He did that to the quarterback for the Giants as well. That was in Denver.
In Denver. Bo Nix.
Come
on, Daryl.
My guy that was in Seattle.
Darnold.
No.
Or Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Jesus,
God,
he had me sitting here like,
he doesn't need to throw these backhanded compliments. He says, well, they're a small market team, but they're a good team. What does small market have? It's football.
It's not the
you
NBA.
Don't play the market. You play the team. He does that. So people say, well, I'm not offended for him saying it. I don't think it's offensive. I just think it was slick.
Yeah, no.
He tries to be slick. And that was a little slick comment, a little backhanded comment. And Liam said, nah, yeah, well, we're a small market team, but yeah, we won the game. Exactly.
I'm not buying Denver, right? If Denver, I think Denver.
It feels like a one and done, man.
I mean, think that
they can win the Super Bowl, but
they'll lose to New England. They'll probably lose to Jacksonville, as we saw on Sunday. I think they can lose. I think they'll lose to the Chargers. I think they'll lose to the Bills. They'd be, right now, they would either get the Steelers or the Chargers, based off the playoff bracket.
Right.
And I think they could probably beat the Steelers, but I'm not going to doubt Aaron Rodgers and I'm not going to doubt Mike Tomlin because they're 9-6. So I'll give them props. I mean, hell, even the Texans. I mean, the Texans are playing. The Texans have ripped off like 6 or 7 wins straight now.
Defense travels, and they've got the best defense in the league.
Now, Tony, I disagree. I don't think Bo Nix is a fraud. Bo Nix has played very well.
But he is 37 years old. He's a 37-year-old second-year player.
I get it. I'm not. My problem is, I think with me is it's the Denver roster as a whole. Probably my issues with Sean Payton as a coach as well. I don't think I was very low on Bo Nix when he got drafted, but I can't say I'm not going to call him a fraud. I'm not going to say I'm low on Bo Nix. I actually have a lot of confidence in Bo Nix, in the way he plays, the ability to escape the pocket. I mean, he can zip the ball at the end of the day too. So it's not, my problem is not here with Bo Nix. It's with this roster that I don't feel yet is done being constructed. And it's Sean Payton as well as a head coach. I will say this, I don't think Payton is as out of touch as a Pete Carroll. But I do think Payton may be a bit out of touch, but I think a lot of it is their success falls on the back of Bo Nix, their field goal kicker, because they've gotten a lot of wins off game-winning field goals, but that goes with Payton or Bo Nix driving them down the field. So I don't really think Bo Nix is the issue. Yeah,
you never have to
blame Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and give Bo Nix a hard time. I think Bo Nix has been pretty phenomenal this season. It's going to be hard for any team to go into Foxborough in January. Exactly. And I feel the same way with Philadelphia, even Chicago. Chicago's going to be tough to play in. Same thing with Seattle. Seattle's going to be cold. Those cold environments.
And probably rainy in Seattle. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Cold and rainy.
You've got 3 California teams that are going to be in the playoffs, and you've got a bunch of winter teams, and even including Denver, that are going to be in the playoffs. I mean, this is and I saw a horrible take where somebody said this has been the most boring NFL season that I can remember, and I just laughed them out of the building. Do
you remember who said that?
It's on my Instagram story. I could probably find the clip.
Well, everybody, you know what? People entitled to their own feelings.
Everybody,
this has been excellent, man. This has been what we picked in the beginning.
They got to put inflation on these podcast equipment, Daryl.
No kidding, right? What we picked in the beginning of the season. Some has bared out. Seattle bear out. Eagles bear out. Patriots didn't bear out. Broncos didn't bear out. Jaguars didn't bear out. So yeah, there's some 50-50 in there, but you like it though because it's a difference. We had the Ravens hot. Remember, I was high on the Ravens. You weren't high on the Ravens. I think Ramon and I were high on the Ravens, but you weren't. You were like the Packers. We thought the Panthers were like 29 or 30 in the league. So we were wrong on a lot. We were right on a lot. But that's what's made this season great.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have told me week 4, after, even though the Ravens were doing bad, if you told me that the Ravens and Chiefs were both going to miss the playoffs, I would have looked, and you told me Jacksonville would play well. You told me the Patriots. I said it, I think in our first preview, I said Patriots are going to be a tough team. I said they have a chance to maybe win second in the division, but I don't see them making the playoffs because, like we talked about early on in this year in the AFC, if all these new teams get in, somebody's got to falter out from last year, right? And who would have thought?
We see it.
Who would have thought it would have been
Baltimore and Kansas City
in the Kansas
Baltimore
City.
and Kansas City. Actually, one more: Baltimore, Kansas City, and the Bengals.
Yeah, like who would
remember? We said those three teams were pretty much.
We said they were locks along with the Bills, right? And then
they've been replaced by the Broncos, the Patriots, and who slide on down a little bit? Broncos, Patriots, and
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville, yeah.
And I think even though I know you've been harder on the Chargers, I think you said you thought the Chargers.
I'm just saying. At you.
I think we both thought the Chargers would make the playoffs, whether it was wild card or whatnot. I think we both were in agreement they would make the playoffs. I was just trying to remember what we said over on the NFC.
They outplayed what we said. Even you. They outplayed what we said. I gotta give them credit, man. They played hard. They've won games that they should have won, and that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Right. Quarterback gets hurt. He's out there running for a 30-yard scamper down the field and got lit up and got right back up. So kudos to him, man.
We got a lot of people in the chat, so I want them to answer this as well. One more buy or sell. The San Francisco 49ers beaten up, still 11-4. As much as I love to call Brock Purdy fraud Purdy, he's playing very well. The Niners are playing very well. I kind of agree with Ramon's sentiment of this team continues to roll like this. I mean, Shanahan has a good case for Coach of the Year because, man, with the injuries and everything else, it's hard not to argue. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, either Liam, or the coach of the Panthers will be Coach of the Year.
Yeah,
those teams were picked way in the bottom.
Yeah,
right. And they've had injuries as well. And they've again, the 49ers are definitely a good team. They were a playoff team last year, but they like the new guy, right? They like the new guy. Hey, here's the new guy. I think either Liam or the coach in Carolina will probably get the coach of the year. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't. I just say I think one of them will win it.
We may need to do like the game time awards or something. We may have to do that because for me, I agree with Ramon. My vote goes to Shanahan. I mean, and I'm not a Niners fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate the Niners. I want the Niners to fail this year. I mean, I don't want the Niners to be successful. But if I'm taking my bias out of it and I'm being a Game Time Network analyst, I got to give the Niners credit for what they do. I unfortunately have to give Brock Purdy credit and how he's playing. I am going to buy in on the Niners because, like every single year, when we get down to the end of the season, and it's always the conversation of who's a team that you don't want to run into. And for some reason, every single year in the NFC, I always find myself saying it is the San Francisco 49ers, and it is the same thing here. If I'm any team in the NFC, from Chicago to Philadelphia, I do not want to see the San Francisco 49ers right now. I don't want to see
that's a fair assessment, man. For me, the team, I don't want to. I'm going to go AFC and NFC, right?
Okay.
And only in the top 6, not the ones who are still in the hunt and all that stuff like that. For me, in the AFC, if I'm talking about the top 6, I don't want to see the Chargers.
Okay,
I don't want to see the Chargers. I think because they've got a lot to prove, right? Then in the NFC side, weather be damned. I mean, you're definitely talking about the Bears, definitely. But slow down. Look at that 6 seed team. The Rams. You and I on this show talked about being mid.
Well, add the context.
That was because the quarterback had the back issue. I got it. What I'm saying is, though, he's come in, he's played at an MVP level, and if they win one out of the last 2, he'll probably be the MVP.
Yeah.
And then, with that said, he's got a guy in Puka Nacua. You can't cover him with 3 guys. It doesn't matter. And they got a good enough running game. They've got a good offensive line, and they got damn Jimmy Neutron, the genius, as their coach. He's the second Jimmy Neutron. This dude can coach his butt off, and he puts guys in position to win games, man. I don't want to see and the reason I say that because I saw what they did to Philly the year when Brock Purdy got hurt. They would have beat Philly that year. So for my take, AFC wise, Chargers and Rams are the 2 teams. I'm like, if you're a team in that upper echelon, the top 4 in the AFC, the top 5 in the NFC, Yeah, man. I would say you better hope if you get them at home or win like Chicago, it's 12 degrees, windy, some snow. That's what you want with the Rams. With the Chargers, you want something very similar.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be interesting as we get down the stretch. I mean, most of the teams that are in the bubble probably aren't going to make the playoffs at this point.
Just so you know, my take is I do believe that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will beat the Panthers in Week 18 to secure that spot. I do.
Okay. If the Buccaneers miss the playoffs after how their season started, do you see them sticking with Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield is who he's been, man. He's a guy. He headbutts his teammates. He gets along. Everybody loves him as a teammate. But there's limits. He's been with 5 teams for a reason, man.
Yeah.
There are limits. It's okay. That doesn't mean he's a horrible human being or anything like that. There are limits. No. But I would say you keep him because I don't know that there's 20 quarterbacks in the NFL that are better.
Yeah.
So I think you keep him, man. I don't see any reason why you get rid of him. No.
Yeah, fair enough. Niners got the win on Monday Night Football versus the Colts. Colts
varsity against the JV. The Colts couldn't stop a nosebleed last night. The San Francisco 49ers went after the defensive backfield for the Colts like they saw blood in the water and they were sharks, right? Yep. They couldn't stop them. Everything they wanted to do, they did. There was little resistance at all. I absolutely believe that the coach and the GM will no longer be associated with the Indianapolis Colts at the end of the season.
Wow. Okay. I asked Ramon that.
I think coach and GM both.
Yeah. Carly say Gordon gonna clean house, huh?
Hey, listen, she's got her little doodle pad. She's got her headphones on. She's listening to the plays. She's seen this mess. And I'm tell you this, I'll take a step further. If in fact the general manager, remember, I never pine for a guy to be fired. But that guy's been there here in Indianapolis for 9 years, man.
Yeah.
Fail after fail after fail after fail. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing again, expecting a different result. If he is a general manager of the Indianapolis Colts again, they're going to be the laughing stock of the AFC.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about that insanity. Talk about that insanity piece, man. That's why I got to get away from these Dallas Cowboys. I can't expect the same thing over and over again, you know? So we'll see what happens.
They tried, man. They tried.
Yeah, I'm just glad I was right about him. That's all I know. So let's. I want to ask you.
Hey, listen. No, 3 weeks ago you almost got us kicked off the air for showing love. Don't even try it. See, you're good for that. Hey, I was right about this one, but let's not talk about the Shanahan video.
All right, here. Hold on. Here. Get on me about the Falcons because Ramon did it on Sunday as well. Rip into me about it.
Listen, you were high as a kite talking about the fact. I ain't talking about that. I don't even want to talk about that. I'm talking about the Cowboys. You gave a public apology to Dak, the coach, and the organization. And you can't go 3 weeks later talk about, okay, now I was right. No, those are your boys. You stick with them. I ain't talking about the Falcons. You can keep the Falcons. Atlanta's the place where teams and players go to never be seen again. I don't want to hear it.
Man.
So keep loving on your Cowboys.
Hopefully we keep George Pickens. George Pickens is going to be sought after. He's going to get paid the big bucks after this season. I'm curious if he stays or if he goes. That's going to be interesting, man, because he deserves his money after this season. He played better than CeeDee Lamb all year, to be honest.
That's going to be tough, man. There's a lot of money to be had, and they got a lot of holes on the defensive end to get taken care of, man. So I don't know, man. I don't think Diggs will be back next year, by the way.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't think Diggs
will
be
not.
Back.
You know why I'm playing that? Do you know why I'm playing that?
I have no idea.
It's for Cincinnati fans. They should be nervous about this offseason. They should be nervous.
For what?
Because Joe Burrow is going to be in a different jersey next season. Let's talk about it, man. Joe Burrow is not going to be in Cincinnati.
Oh!
Here, I got you. Joe Burrow's not going to be in Cincinnati. I'm calling it right now. Joe Burrow will not be in Cincinnati. not going to be there. I know. Hate on me all you want, Cincinnati fans, but Burrow will not be a Bengal next season.
Listen.
Yep. Get it all out. All right.
Listen, here's why Joe Burrow will be a Cincinnati Bengal next year. He decided to take that large contract. He decided to pine for his 2 receivers to get those deals. He pined for that. You signed the deal. Yeah. They could have put money on the defensive side of the ball, but they didn't. They drafted your boy from LSU.
Yep.
They re-signed he and T. Higgins.
Yep.
They got you your money. You didn't stay healthy this year. You know, we can say if, right? I always say if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass so much. If he would have been healthy, they'd be a top 6 team.
Yep.
But he wasn't.
No.
So Joe Burrow needs to look in the Joe Burrow mirror first. And if he can sit there and do the Carson Palmer all he wants, Cincinnati Bengals going to say, go ahead and retire then.
The Carson Palmer.
They're going to say, well, Carson Palmer was very unhappy in Cincinnati as well.
Yeah, okay? I know, yeah.
After his ACL injury. So against the Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs. But with that said, hey, everything that you've asked for, Joe Burrow, you've got. So if you want to peel off and say, well, I'm not very happy, it's not fun, you created the lack of fun. So Joe Burrow not only will be a Cincinnati Bengal next year, he'll be in camp smiling and acting like he's happy. Book it, mark the tape. You may want to clip this, by the way.
Yeah, clip that. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Joe Burrow be in Cincinnati. Book it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of quarterback. We're gonna have a lot of quarterback movement this
$5. Huh?
$5. You got a deal. I'll give it to you. I'll have $5 next time.
Clip that too.
We'll see what happens. I'd love to see Burrow get moved. Get out of Cincinnati. I want as Daryl was saying during the college football playoffs, man, I want chaos. I want to see Kyler Murray get traded. I want to see Tua Tagovailoa get traded so Quinn Ewers can be the starting quarterback.
Kyler's gone. Kyler Murray's gone. Kyler Murray is
Tua Tagovailoa is gone
as well. So with that said, I think those 2 are definitely gone.
Well, I saw a report that Miami's going to keep McDaniel though.
Yeah, I saw that too. And so be.
I mean, obviously things could change, but it seems like they're going to get rid of Tua but keep McDaniel. And
so be it.
Quinn Ewers. Let's go, Quinn.
Did you see Quinn Ewers play?
I knew better than to watch. I knew better than to watch. Quinn Ewers. Let's go, Quinn.
He ain't the answer.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, to all those Texas fans, if he was still there, he would have got y'all to the playoff, unlike the Arch kid. Just letting y'all know that right now. So I said that last year after they got eliminated. I said Arch ain't gonna do what Quinn did last year, and I'm happy to be right about that. So,
oh man, what we need to do? We need to get a ticker on this damn screen.
I know the
times Isaiah was right, times Isaiah was wrong.
We get a whiteboard to put behind me. I'll do it. I have no problem. I don't care being right. I don't care about being wrong. I care about being right a little bit.
No, man, but in all honesty, we got to think about the Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
Your quarterback is not going to be back till the end of the year next year. Okay.
Yeah.
You're an old team. You don't have a definitive running back. You don't have a real number 1 receiver. Your tight end is getting ready to marry a $10 billion golden parachute. There's a lot to be had in Kansas City, and I got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of blow up in Kansas City.
Yep.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Hey, I pitched this to Ramon on Sunday. I'm going to pitch it here to you. If I'm Kansas City, I'm tanking. And listen. I'm tanking. I'm signing. I'm calling up Brian Hoyer. I'm calling up somebody. I'm signing 2 middle-aged quarterbacks and one 5th-round rookie. I'm calling them up, putting them on the roster, and I'm tanking. I'm tanking. And when I get to draft night, I'm using everything in my power. Next year, 2027, I'm drafting Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State to begin the Chiefs' resurrection. That is what I'm doing.
Who's going to throw in the ball?
Patrick Mahomes when he's back for the 2027 season.
Okay. All right.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm telling you, I'm worried about Patrick Mahomes too. He over the last 2 seasons, there's been a decline in his play. Now, granted, your team around him has to be better as well. But I'm a little worried about Patrick Mahomes.
And here's what I'll say to that. Obviously 2 different careers, but I'm just going to point this out. That what season is Mahomes in? It's a 7th?
This is 6 or 7.
I think it's 7th. Brady had the same injury in his 7th season. It's completely just to point it out. It's completely identical. They both had an ACL injury in their 7th season. No, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. So for me, and with the way obviously the since that Brady's injury happened, 2008, 2009. Obviously, medical.
If I remember right, it was either against Buffalo or Kansas City.
Yeah,
I think
medical stuff has come a long way since then. In that point in time, I think Mahomes will come back still at an all-pro level. Maybe not as mobile. Okay, it's still Patrick Mahomes. I have a lot of confidence in Mahomes to come back healthy. And if I'm the Chiefs,
he's going to need to play offensive line too.
And
because they still don't have one.
If I'm the Chiefs, I'm salivating at the mouth. I'm getting Jeremiah Smith. I'm doing everything I can to get. I'm starting my rebuild with Jeremiah Smith. You got Jeremiah Smith and Xavier Worthy as your top 2 receivers next and come 2027.
Stop. See, you're just watching TV now? Have you seen Xavier Worthy play this year?
That's fair. Good point,
dude. Man, he's been terrible.
Yeah.
He's been terrible. He is not a guy you want to hang your hat on. Yes, he's fast. Give you that.
Yeah.
He ain't a guy you want to hang your hat on, man. No, I don't think so at all. But again, what Kansas City have to do, you get Mahomes back, and that's great. And maybe you do draft Jeremiah. Well, I don't think you have the ability, but your offensive line and your defensive lines are going to be in shambles. That's your miss, man. And that's where their downfall has been. That along with getting older in the tooth.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I got a feeling that this may be a little bit, it for Kansas City for a little bit. They got to, step back a couple of years. Step back a couple of years and rebuild, man.
Yeah. It's what it is. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of fans aren't crying about it. They're not too sad about it, and that's fair. Daryl, it's time to talk about. It's time to do what I love to talk about, right, man? It's time to go to Tankathon. It's time to look at the updated draft results. Let's see the order of this year's NFL draft. How is it shaping up? And we've got some switch up. The Raiders hold the number 1 overall. Oh, not my bad. It swapped. The Giants hold the number 1 overall pick. And I saw this proposed on social media, Daryl. Do you trade Jackson Dart and draft Fernando Mendoza?
Come on.
What do you think?
Is that like
I don't think they should. I don't think they do.
Why would you?
Yeah, I saw people saying that, and I'm like, why? We've talked about on this pod.
You got your quarterback. You got your quarterback. Now you build around him, and you teach him how to play the quarterback position in the NFL. This isn't college, and this isn't high school anymore.
We have talked about this, and you agree with me to some extent. There is not, and look, all credit to Mendoza and what he's done this year, winning the Heisman and everything else. I don't think Mendoza is a NFL day 1, week 1 ready quarterback right now. I think Mendoza can be a great locker room leader. You asked me a couple weeks ago, what is his best football trait? And I said probably his accuracy on placing the football.
Yep.
After that, I don't know what else Mendoza really has that is a high quality NFL trait. I think his best trait is his accuracy. But other than that, I don't know if he's ready to play right now. Dante Moore reminds me a lot of Jaden Daniels coming out of this year's draft. I think Dante Moore could surprise a lot of people. I'm not saying he gets to an NFC championship or nothing like that, because more than likely he goes to Las Vegas or New York with the way it's set up right now. Obviously, this could change. But I'm not saying that's what happens with him, obviously. But what I'm saying is I think he has the ability to play day 1. A lot. You look at the Oregon quarterback.
You think so?
Look at the Oregon quarter. Look at Bo Nix. Obviously, Bo Nix is way older, and that probably helped him. I think Dante Moore has the ability to be week 1 ready more than Mendoza. That's just me personally. I gave Ty Simpson a lot of crap this season. I feel like he is still projected to go mid to early first round. I think Simpson has some pro traits, but I am also, just like Mendoza, I'm not too set on either of those guys playing in week one.
Listen, I
and
don't
honestly,
think
if New Orleans got Mendoza, you're drafting another Tyler Shuck.
It seems to me that they're happy with Shuck, and the talk is now, hey, they're going to move forward with Shuck.
Good,
so if that's the case, maybe it's the case, maybe it's not. But I don't think any quarterback that's coming out of this year's draft is any better than Ward was this year as a first pick. These guys need time, man. Yes. They need time. Yes. And you can thrust them in there if you want, and that's all well and good. But you see what's happened when you're throwing them in there.
Yes.
Right. So for me and my take, I don't think any quarterback coming out in the draft is a day one star. They all are projects to me.
People need to look at what the Carolina Panthers are done. People have to stop looking at the Jaden Daniels and CJ Strouds of the world. That is a once in a lifetime thing. That is a once in a generation thing. You have to stop looking at the 1%ers and the 2%ers. Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud were a once in a generation thing. That's not going to happen. Look at what Carolina did. They played Bryce Young. He didn't play well. They subbed him out for Andy Dalton for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And look at what Bryce Young is doing right now. You have to sit these guys. Look at what the Green Bay Packers did with Jordan Love. Look at Jordan Love. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We have to stop playing these quarterbacks in week one. Or you need to stop pulling and benching and pulling and benching. Look at all the late bloomer quarterbacks in the NFL. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daryl, what's another one? But look at all these late bloomer, Geno Smith.
I'll follow exactly what you're saying. I get it 100%. The thing about it is these teams are trying to make hay on the rookie scale quarterback salary cap as well too, because after that 4th year he's going to be eligible for about a 4 or 5 year $260 million deal, and then all of a sudden your team shakes up. And that economics goes into play when these guys are starting in week one as well too.
My argument,
something to think about.
Look what happened to Shadur. Look what happened with Will Levis. If you don't think that quarterback is worth that amount of money, where you feel if you don't think he's worth that much money to sit, then draft him later, because then clearly you don't need a quarterback that bad.
Well, right? Yeah, I mean, and I get that everybody wants a franchise quarterback, but we talked about this before. That there are probably 20, and I don't like to use the word great a lot. Good to above quarterbacks in the league, about 20 to 22 quarterbacks. Man, yeah, it's 32 teams.
Yeah.
What does that say? A lot of teams need a quarterback, and that's my point. Be patient and don't ruin the guy, right?
Yes.
So then you ruin him, then he goes to another team or 2 teams or 3 teams, and all of a sudden he strikes gold.
If I'm the Raiders and I get Dante Moore, I'm sitting him behind Geno Smith. Sit him. What's the rush?
Man, I'm definitely sitting him anyway, but I think they need to do away with Geno Smith. He looks so bad in a Raiders uniform from a playing perspective. He looks horrific. I get it. Horrific.
And the only reason I say this is because the roster's not done. You still need a receiver room. You still need a better defense. This roster's not ready yet. What's the harm in playing Geno one more year, let Dante sit behind him, let Pete Carroll coach another year, and then clean house next season when you probably have another draft pick, you get a receiver, and then you play Dante Moore, maybe let go of Pete Carroll and, do some other things. And same thing for New York. New York's going to play Dart. That's fine. Dart looked fine. But my biggest concern out of all these teams that are probably going to want to get a quarterback this year is the New York Jets. I feel sorry for Ty Simpson. I feel sorry for Dante Moore. I feel sorry for Mendoza. If any of those quarterbacks end up in New York, I'm not going to play the what if game. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, what if he turns out in New York? That's just not. I'm just going to say it right here, right now. There's a 2% chance that even happens because of how bad New York manages quarterbacks. We can bash Sam Darnold all we want in his career, but that is an example of a late bloomer being put in the right situations, because New York, just like Cleveland, just like a lot of these other organizations, have failed to create situations for their rookie quarterbacks or their young quarterbacks to succeed. No matter how much we've crapped on the New York Giants, I think Jackson Dart is going to be all right in New York, depending on who they hire. Now, if you go out, I've heard some of the candidates they want to interview, and if they hire someone like Matt Nagy, then I'm gonna go on this podcast and I'm gonna tear him a new one. But if they get a Mike McCarthy, that's fine. Look, I'm not going to argue with Mike McCarthy's track record with what he's done. If he goes to Tennessee or the Giants, I'm not going to argue with his track record. He had that playing really good football. He probably could do the same with Cam Ward or New York. The fact of the matter is we've got to stop rushing these quarterbacks into playing week one. We have to stop doing that. It's going to hurt their development the more you continue to do it. And I think the Jets, if you can get Kyler Murray, okay, then probably don't need a quarterback. But
you got an opportunity. You got him or either Tua, right? Or veteran guys who are serviceable, right? Not bums, right? In that they're in that 17 to 25 range, probably, right? In that neighborhood of quarterback play. It's still an upgrade on what you got right now.
Because if you're Arizona, it's such an easy. If you're New York and Arizona, it's such an easy trade.
But I apologize. Arizona may have their quarterback for the next couple of years, man. Hey, man, Jacoby Brissett has. No, hold on. You can shrug. Over the last 7 weeks,
okay,
he's been a top 5 quarterback. I'm talking about play wise. Okay. I'm not talking about just. Oh, he didn't throw me.
I got to be honest with you. I'd really have to go and watch.
Go watch him.
Fair enough.
He's been very serviceable, right?
Okay.
And he's not a bum. Is he a guy who's going to take you to the Super Bowl? No. Probably not. But guess what? It's only about 3 or 4 of those guys in the league right now. Anyway,
if I'm Carolina or if I'm New York and Arizona, it's probably the easiest trade you could do, right? Arizona moves up to 4. New York goes down to 6. Arizona drafts a quarterback if they want or they don't. It's up there to them. Like you said, Brissett, I guess, is playing well. So,
again, they don't have the team around him either, though. They've got offensive line issues, right?
You talking about New York or Arizona?
Arizona. These teams got so many holes. Man, it's like a donut factory, man. You got this guy doing pretty good, but then we got offensive line.
So, and that's a great point. So why are these teams are so hell bent on drafting a quarterback sometimes when the roster isn't figured out? And then you throw them.
Because they tell you that's the most important position on the field. They tell you that, right? It's an honor and a privilege to be in the NFL, right? They tell you that. It's an honor and a privilege. They're convincing you that things aren't true.
Yeah.
So you got the best quarterback you can get. You got Joe Burrow. His offensive line is sting. His defense is sting. What have they got to show for it? Nada. So I get that you say it's the most important position and a point. But also those other ancillary pieces are pretty damn important. You got to have somebody to protect them. You got to have somebody to throw the ball to. And you got to have a defense that can stop somebody at some point. Mm-hmm. It's a collective all in. And that's why Philly has been so good of late. Because they've had it all on both sides. Kansas City, they've done it because of that, how great Mahomes, the magic of Mahomes, right?
The closest, I'm not gonna include Cincinnati. I'm not gonna include Miami and all those teams that we thought could have been in the playoffs. If I'm going from 1 through 8, and you ask me who's the closest to being a complete team right now, I would probably give you New York or Vegas. And even though they are 1 and 2, now I would say those 2 teams are probably the closest to being completed in my eyes. I think Vegas has a good offensive structure. I think the defense isn't bad around Crosby. It really is. I think it is a situation of if they had someone just playing slightly better than Geno, they're probably close to not. I'm not saying make the playoffs, but they're probably with a better record than a lot of us thought.
They probably got 6 wins.
I went back and saw the clip when we were doing our power rankings, and I was talking about the Raiders have a chance to be all right. It's the AFC West. Usually the Raiders knock a game off against the Chiefs. Yeah. Exactly. So in my mind, I think the Raiders are close to being somewhat complete. I think the Giants, honestly, Giants didn't even look half that bad, and then they got riddled with injuries all year. darts, concussions,
It's just
neighbors
tough, man,
ACL
because you
tear.
don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff back and forth. But these next 2 weeks are going to be interesting to see how things shake out. And I look forward to the end of the season when we can say, here's the draft slots now. Now, mind you, trades be damned. We don't know what trades are going to be, but I think that there's going to be probably at least 3 quarterbacks picked in the first round. Mendoza, kid from Oregon, probably Ty Simpson, and
that's it.
There
ain't even nobody else.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting for sure. I love draft time. You know me. This is my favorite time of year when we get down to the playoffs and the draft starts to creep up. I truly do love the NFL draft. So it's gonna be interesting. I think Cleveland's another team to look out for. What do they do? I don't think it's quarterback. Everyone it's Shadur's gonna play. Gabriel may play again. We'll see.
That'll change a lot of deals if in fact that they don't pick a quarterback. That'll change a lot. But where they are, and it wouldn't be surprised if they lose the next 2 to get in the top 1 or 2. That'll give them some capital, right? As unfortunate, the running back got hurt this weekend. Jenkins out for the season. That's going to be tough for him to get back to. That's tough.
Call me crazy. I think the Raiders will win probably one more game.
We'll see.
I think they probably win one more. Things are going to shake out, man. Things are really going to shake out.
Definitely.
We're going to see. Yep. Joe Burrow may get traded. Stuff may happen. It's going to be fun. I don't really got much else to say. This has been a great stream. It's been fun. Good to have you back, Daryl.
Good. Hey, appreciate it. Good NFL talk, man. I'm glad to be back. Well, we've got some good stuff coming along, but I just got a text, so I was looking at. So I'm okay if we wind down, so we can share a little bit of that information. But good stuff. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. Like and subscribe. We're trying to do great things, trying to share our content, to give information, not just be biased and say this is my favorite team, so they're the best. Doesn't work that way. So we appreciate the support. We appreciate the feedback as well. Continue to give us feedback, because that drives a lot of our content and what we share, by the way.
Yeah, if you guys ever want to see different content, don't hesitate to let us know in the comments below. We appreciate all the love and support as always. We're going to keep rocking and rolling here. We're lining up some guests for the month of January as well. So don't think we're not working on interviews. We know you guys like the interviews when we announce them. So we're working on interviews. We're working on a lot of stuff that we are looking to get done in the next coming weeks. It's been a hell of a ride. 2026 should be a great year for the Game Time Network. It's crazy to think in a couple months we'll be doing 1 year as a podcast. April 1st is when we started. So it's kind of crazy to look back at that and know that was our first episode. Daryl, real quick before we go, any thoughts on the NBA before we get out of here?
I'm going to do a Coach Corner on Draymond Green and his coach and that situation that happened last night. My thoughts on the NBA. Love my Pacers. Will be at the game tonight. Miles Turner will be in the house. I hope the Pacers play hard. I hope they play well. But if they happen to lose the game, I understand and I support that 100%.
There you go. Hey, folks, if you can, tonight I will be live with WRBI Radio. I will be broadcasting South Ripley versus Batesville, 5-0 Batesville versus 5-1 South Ripley. It's going to be a great game. I got to take the drive to South Ripley here in about 3 hours. So I want to learn this setup here. I thought I'd do color tonight. Do a little color analyst. I'm not going to be a Chris Collinsworth. I'm not going to be a Doris Burke. I'm going to try to be a Richard Jefferson. I'm going to try to be JJ Redick was on the call. I'm going to try to have some basketball integrity tonight on the broadcast. So I am looking forward to it. I've got my all black suit ironed out tonight, Daryl. I am ready to go. It's going to be a fun night for me. My NBA hot take is, folks, remember, call the Los Angeles Clippers and let them know that the fate of the NBA depends on them. Make sure to contact the Los Angeles Clippers and let them know. We need them to start winning basketball games. Go Chargers, go Lakers. Go Chicago Bears as well. Bear down. I'm rooting for the Bears as well. What a stream it's been. I think you hit the wrong one.
No, the right one.
It's been a hell of a stream, folks. When we come back with you guys, it'll probably be on Friday. I actually don't have to go to IU East. So I think Friday we're going to do a show. Maybe do an NBA show. Yeah, post-Christmas show. So maybe I'll decorate the Game Time Live. I'll get a Christmas hat on the logo or something. We'll have to see. But folks, that's going to do it. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys Friday for another episode of Game Time Live. We'll see you guys then. Have a good one.